is Philippe Back from iOctane, and today I'm going to talk about the use case dance. The use case dance? What's this? Well, first let's put some context around this. Let's say I've got a system called this system. We have a BizMan actor, we have a Magic Board actor, we have a CoolDude actor, and the talk. The system, and we have also other system involved. We have the other system, the CureBox, and the scheduler. So all these do the following. So we have the BizMan doing some work, we have the Magic Board doing some configuration, we have the scheduler, like let's say packaging some info, and we have the CoolDude trying to get a clue. And we have some interactions with other systems. So it's interesting to see these use cases, but a lot of people ask, well, right, but how do they relate to the other? Do I do this first and this second and so on? And then they start putting arrows all around here. And quickly this use case diagram, which was simple and efficient in communicating the business value for each actor, is really becoming more like a printed circuit board, a PCB. So you don't want a PCB, what you want is a clean thing like this. And what happens is that you don't sequence use cases. You're not sequencing use cases. What you do is you use the scenarios inside the use cases. They are here and here, maybe we have some more. Then these scenarios may mean that, okay, in a case I do some work here and it succeeds, so I'm reporting into the other system. Maybe you do some work in another scenario and it fails and you have to say it to CoolBox. So if you do this and then that, it has no sense. What does make sense is that you do one flow in here and then maybe followed by another flow and so on. But do you show this on this diagram? No, it's not the purpose of it. So what you do is you take some flows and you package these flows into, let's say, scenarios. What you do is you make a scenario. And the scenario is like a movie. What happens? Okay, we got this actor, like BizMan, is doing some work and successfully, because it's a given flow, for this other system. So we have an actor with a given system, with a given flow, and we have another actor with a system into another flow, and so on, and so on, and so on. And we have maybe another actor which does another flow, yet another flow, and so on. So you have this sequence of flows inside the use cases. Let's say I have my use cases. Here I would have 1, 2, 3 flows, and 1, 2, 3 flows. I may say, oh, my scenario is doing, starting here, doing this flow, and then this flow, and maybe this other one, and maybe back this one. That could be one scenario. And of course, you may have more than one scenario in the system, like I just do this flow here and I stop. Or I just start doing this flow here and then this other flow there and I stop. Right? So a number of scenarios are made up out of the flows of the use cases and they bind them together. And by the way, why are they binding them together, you may ask? Well, in fact, you have something before all that. Because why is the system there in the first place? Well, the system is there because this system is there, and maybe his other friends is there because it has to support some business process. And in this big process, yeah, we have a process. And in this process, we have a number of business activities. I may have activity 1 and activity 2. And maybe I cannot do 2 until I am done with 1. And maybe after I've done 1, I have to do 3. Okay, and so on. And maybe, oh right, it's not this and that. Maybe I have some condition to be there because I have to do first 1 and then do a condition. And based on the result, I can do 3 or 2. And the noise is my cat making some noise because he's hungry, but we'll ignore him for the moment. So in this system here, we have the use cases and the flows. And what happens is some business activities do have something to do with the system. And so how you support these activities in your system is through some use cases. Maybe this use case here is supporting this activity, and this one is supporting this activity as well, and this one as well. and you have the flows. So when you do something like, hey, I'm going to go for a trip inside my business activities, it may mean that you are going to do some manual stuff, for example, and then you end up into this use case flow here for supporting this activity. Let's say I have another thing to do, which would be here, I do A1 and then I do A2. So it may mean that, okay, I'm going inside my system and I do A1, which is manual, and then A3. A3 would be something here, or I think I was speaking about A2. So what you have, what is this use case dense? When you have activities going into the business flows, what happens, the use case flows are sequenced together, and that's why you get this dense. So the dense is, okay, let's go inside this for business process, and let's do a bit of this, and then a bit of that, and then something here, and something there, and so on. And this is the use case dense. So thank you for watching. I hope you now have a clue about how to show the, let's say, process-related dependencies between your use case and the use case dense. So thank you for watching. This was Inspect.